Chris, what else you got, bruv?
So I'm going to keep the kudos to Xbox train moving here.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit earlier in the week updates about how Overwatch has got like kind of like a little mini event going right now where you can get what is the name of it, Ed? I always say it wrong.
Pachi Marchi?
Yeah, so that's the name of the event, and I think that's tied to the month of March. But yeah, it's the little squeezy onion-looking things. I don't know what they are that squeak in the game and that are out in the world as well. So they pushed out that update, but along with that, they also brought out a pretty significant update for the Xbox Series X and S. And basically, it brings optimizations that include different preferred modes. Like they have presets for resolution, balance, and frame rate. And so I'm just going to kind of break down a little bit of the differences between them. On resolution mode, this is for those who prefer higher resolution output, and it comes at the cost of some image quality. On the Xbox Series X, it's 4K at 60 hertz. The Series S, it's 1440p at 60 hertz. We know that the Series S, that's where it caps, is at 1440p. So at the highest that it can go. The balance mode, this is for those who prefer image quality at the cost of resolution. Series X is 1440p at 60 hertz. Series S, it's at 1080p at 60 hertz. And then there's the frame rate mode. And this mode prefers higher frame rates, 120 frames, at the cost of both image quality and resolution. So on the Series X, the game will be at 1440p at 120 hertz. On the Series S, 1080p at 120 hertz. Now, what is missing from this update is any of these enhancements for the PlayStation 5. They don't exist.
Yeah.
And then, so this article that broke this down a little bit is from Eurogamer, and they actually had been talking about this from back when, because you know, Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then Warzone patched in the ability to have these higher frame rates and only at the Xbox. What's the car soccer game? I'm blanking on the name of it. Rocket League.
Rocket League?
Yes. They added in the ability to do 120 hertz. Again, it
you,
only hit on Xbox Series X and S. And it basically comes down to the fact that it's how that the difference between the two handle backwards compatibility. Because all of these games that are being updated on the Xbox Series systems are essentially Xbox One games where they bake in this enhancement, and then the machine, because of the way that it accesses those games, it could just flip that switch because it has the horsepower in order to be able to do that. Whereas on the PlayStation side, it's actually using a PS4 variation of the chip. It sees it as a PS4 game. So it's just playing it to whatever that PS4 version's highest qualities are. The PS5 can brute force those to those levels, whatever that is.
Wow.
But it caps there. So if a PlayStation 4 can't do it, then it's not going to be done on the PlayStation 5. Because of the way it's done. So essentially, the people, Psyonix, who did that, they kind of broke it down this way previously. They were like, look, our team's main focus was when they had transitioned from free to play, and that was updating the major features and system tournaments. And said, due to this, had to make tough decisions on what we could achieve because, Psyonix is not a massive team. They said enabling 120 hertz on the Xbox Series X and S was basically a minor patch. Enabling it on the PS5, though, requires a full native port due to how the backwards compatibility is implemented on the console.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that is the reason why you're not getting these kind of updates, even though the PlayStation 5, if you have one, is capable of outputting, assuming you have the right monitor to read it, 120 hertz, and it has enough power to run all these other higher resolutions and various things like that. But because it requires support, so you've seen games like God of War got a PS5 patch and several other exclusive games. They're basically doing full native ports of that game. That's how you're getting it. So it's a bummer to me, although at the same time, it's not like the end of the world, even though it is a bit of a bummer because I've been playing most of my games, as I said, on a computer monitor, and at the moment it's a 1080p 60 hertz monitor. So because they won't hurry up and get on out with these HDMI 2.1 4K monitors because I'm just ready. I'm sitting here waiting to buy one, and there's nothing on the market yet. So once I do that, then I'll be old man yells at cloud. But until then, it doesn't really affect me, even though it is a bummer. It's like, shoot, man, this is one of the things where you got to put that feather in Xbox cap. They thought ahead that system more. Look, if you're a PlayStation person, you got to be happy that there's just backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 4 on there. But at the same time, it's like, it's good to do the thing, but you also need to do the thing even better. And we'll see if there's any implementations in the future. Now, 2 years down the road, when the majority of people are playing PS5 variations, like I think Overwatch is when Overwatch 2 drops, which we don't know when that is. I feel like there's going to be an Xbox Series native version as well as PS5 native version and things. Eventually, these concerns will somewhat negate themselves, but there's always going to be those people that want to go back and play the PS4 version of a game because it never came around to a PS5 version. And if there's any kind of update that was implemented, the Xbox version is going to be the better version. So it's a feather in their cap.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense that they know how to make hardware and software nice and compatible as it moves up, right? To where they can reach back and do that because they've been in this game for a long time.
Right.
Sony can't get some of these TVs under control. You know what I'm saying? Some of these TVs and their update process is like, oh, Lord, okay. All right.